Joining us on this segment of Outside the Book is Lauren Castillo. She's a children's author and illustrator. Her book, Nana in the City, was designated as a Caldecott Honor Book, and her most recent collaboration is 20 Yawns with Jane Smiley. Lauren, thank you very much for being here at the Southern Kentucky Festival of Books and joining us on Outside the Book.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Jane Smiley is certainly an intriguing name in American literature. How did you and she come to be working together?
Yeah, well, so in picture books, it's really interesting. It's a very separate collaboration between author and illustrator. The publishing house acquires the manuscript, so they had acquired Jane Smiley's text, and I had a relationship working with them on a previous book called The Reader, and they wanted to work together again. And Jane Smiley's text came in, and they thought that I would be a good match for it. And when I read the text, I knew that I was on board immediately. So yeah, it was an honor to work with Jane. We just met for the first time 2 weeks ago when we did a little mini tour for the book out in California and New York, and so we were able to finally meet each other face to face after working on this book for over 2 years. So.
Oh, very good, very good. I'm intrigued with how you self-identify. You say that you are a reader, a writer, and a hedgehog doodler. Readers and writers, I know. What's a hedgehog doodler?
In about 2 years ago, I was sketching in my sketchbook, as I do often, and I started drawing this hedgehog character, and I just fell in love with the idea of drawing this hedgehog character, and that led to beginning to write a story about this particular character. And it was the first time that I had written a story where the character came first before, like the character and the development of the character came before the actual idea for the story came about. So yes, if I was to ask to draw whatever I wanted, I would probably doodle a hedgehog for you. They're very cute animals.
You have a very distinctive style, not surprisingly, but you have a very distinctive style and a particularly strong line. Could you talk a little bit about where that comes from? How do you see the world that way?
Sure. Yeah. So all my books are a very thick, heavy line, and usually painted in watercolor and added textures. The line is so thick because I work very, very small, and I enlarge my line. I enlarge my sketches, whether photocopier or computer scanning, and that creates a very thick, grainy line. And it's just something, what I really like about the art is that it's sort of a coloring book in a way. It's these, and something about those thick lines is really appealing to young kids. I think my target audience always seems to be like the 2 and 3 and 4-year-olds, like the really young guys who are drawn to my art. Yeah, that's the first book was done that way, and I just kind of continued with it. So.
To what extent is the audience in your head as you develop images or as you choose stories or select text? How much are you thinking about the audience? How much are you thinking about something else?
I don't think too much about the audience, to be honest. I think that, at heart I am a young kid, and so it's easy for me to write stories that I think, elementary and preschool age kids are gonna be attracted to. A lot of my ideas come from childhood memories too, so that that sparked the childhood. Childhood memories are kind of sparked the idea for stories. And I don't know. I don't have a very set audience in mind when I'm creating a book. It just kind of works out.
Well, you allude to watercolors,
Yes.
both in terms of the visual arts and in terms of book production. Those are things that are being changed very dramatically by technology.
Right.
are you kind of old school, new school, a bit on the cusp? Do you see yourself as working in a more traditional kind of way?
You know, I have, so my first love probably will continue to stay that way is ink and watercolor. But believe it or not, 20 Yawns, although it looks very similar to my other books, in style, it was created 100% digitally in Photoshop. So it was my first attempt I created, the pen that I would use to draw the lines digitally. I created that in the program Photoshop, and the colors, the textures were scanned and added digitally. So the end result was a file, not a piece of watercolor paper, original art, which is kind of the sad thing about it, is that there is no original art. It's more, that digital file, but you can make prints of it, and so I'm adapting to new technologies as best I can. But I think I'll always, I'll probably go back to working more traditionally on my next several books. So, but I like to switch it up depending on the project.
Very good. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to kind of look over your shoulder as you create art, create stories, create text. Thank you very much for a great introduction to your work. And I'm intrigued by a book about yawns. I'm pretty sure I've never read one, and I will make it a point to literally see how you portray 20 yawns.
Excellent, yeah. Well, I'm sure it will put you to sleep and your children in a good way.
That's probably a good purposeful thing to have sometimes.
Yes.
Lauren Castillo, her book is 20 Yawns, as she's a Caldecott Honor Medal winner, and she's joined us here on Outside the Book.